So 66%. So we do need to get more beans in. We've gone up to 4.7 production of beans now. So I am also going to up the speed 10%. To 10 times, sorry. Okay, there we go. The farm is fully filled at 96%. Producing 2.5 beans, which is great. And now we actually have a surplus of beans. We're producing 5.6, but we only need 5.2. So we can now grow even more. Back up to growing. Brilliant. And I'll be back with you when we grow even more. So we've grown a little bit, but we have now got a new tech, and this is quite an important tech for agriculture. This is keeping the best plants. It doesn't allow anything at the moment, but like I said with other techs, it's important for when you get even more advanced techs, it does require that one with it. So I'm pleased we've got this. We do need to get more pots. I'm going to put it up to 20 pots. There we go, 20 pots, maintain stock. But we do actually need more pots being made. These buildings produce 1.4 pots each, but we're not hitting our demand. So a quick note on why you actually might want to fulfill your demand for things like pots and cloves. In the late game, well I say the late game, but once you unlock money, it's to produce you more tax due to the transaction of money for goods and services. But goods such as pots and leather cloves also give you health and life quality bonuses. So if we come over to here, any of these, let's say the artisans, we can see we're providing a 17% clothing and 30% furnishing, which is giving us a 0.6 life quality bonus. That life quality bonus transitions into better intelligence and better growth for the population. So we do want to try and fulfill that. Also earlier we did unlock the weaver and the clothes maker, but we just don't have anything to make the textiles with, at least at the moment. If we come to culture, and we come to wool, I'm almost certain llamas can produce wool. So sheep can produce wool, and how that works is you actually get the sheep from the pastures, and then the wool building uses up a sheep in a pasture, but just produces wool. I'm almost certain it's the same for llamas, but like I said, I've never had them before, so I'm gonna go for a risk, and if I do get it wrong, I can show you something else on how to revoke civ points, and if I do get it right, I can show you how to produce wool. So we've got the llamas, or maybe in your case you've got sheep. Go to wool, click adopt this trait, and I'm actually going to put 2 into it, because wool is really important for production of clothes and textiles. Production of textiles, which leads to clothes, and the textiles are also used late game and other things. So now I'm going to go for the wool. And let's see. No, you can see it doesn't. So the pasture here only has llamas. There is no wool. So that's it. Oh, that's frustrating. So this is what I wanted to show you. If you've got a civ point you don't like, click revoke. Yes. And in the top right here, we're now revoking. It's going to take us 32 minutes to revoke that. So it's a long time actually, but you can see we've got a lot to revoke. So we'll keep this, and then after 32 minutes it will drop one. So you can do this if you build up a lot of civ points or something, and then the era starts to move away and that resource is no longer useful, it's obsolete. You can then revoke civ points. Or if you feel like you are no longer competitive with that resource and you want to drop it all together and just purchase off the market, you can do that as well. No, this is a revelation. I was right, it just didn't load in time. You can produce wool pastures from llamas. So I've shown you both. I've actually unlocked the wool, but then also show you how to revoke. That's fine. So, under the cattle farms, once you unlock wool, it will also show you all the animals that can then make wool. That you have also put civ points into. So, sheep can also make wool, but I haven't unlocked the production of sheep, so I can't make the wool pastures out of sheep. So I can only use llamas. So you do have to have both. You can't just unlock wool through llamas. So we can't just unlock wool, but then not have llamas or sheep unlocked either. So I'm going to build one more production of llamas. Taking us up to 100%. So this one cattle farm can fit 4 fields. And then I'm going to build another cattle farm. Because we're actually starting to get to, we're almost going to have unemployed, which is what we want. There's so many jobs to fill. Oh, I don't have enough wood though. This is the problem. So wood is my big holding back at the moment because the potterers need wood for fuel. So I can't build any more potterers without more wood. But I also need more wood as a building resource. So I'm going to get more wood choppers built. Wood cutters. And that's another one over here. If I don't want over here. So even though the green trees are saying that they've got plenty of resources, as the technologies improve, so will their use of the trees nearby. So I don't want to put them just all next to each other, even though they have got green trees now, because in the future they won't. Okay, so I'm going to speed things up again. We are still getting new people in. And I'll be back once we've got more population. Okay, so it's been a bit of time. The population has increased a little bit. But it's actually increased enough that we've got some inactives. We've also got some culture levels up. And we're revoking the trait. It's been 4 minutes. So we've got a long way to go. I have been getting some wood though. So I'm going to build my new cattle farm. I'm going to just next to this one. I've also, while I've been waiting for the population to increase, I built a new farm and increased the size of my food production. And that is because to fulfill thriving agriculture, we have to hit 80 fields. So we've got 60 out of 80 currently. We also need 8 pastures, so building this new cattle farm with 4 new fields, that will fulfill that. And we need to build 1 more granary building, so I'm going to build that here. So I'm going to move this one, and I'm going to build the granary building here. So there we've already fulfilled one of the tasks. We're getting close to fulfilling this one, and we're getting close to fulfilling this one. So we're very close to actually getting wearing adornment. Wearing adornment is a big make or break moment in Ymir, where it can really throw off the players who don't know what they're doing. In terms of, you then need to actually do a few more things which the game doesn't tell you to do. And that's actually where I sort of got a bit confused. So we've got 92 people employed, but we've got 97 jobs. So we've just got 5 positions we need fulfilling. We've also got loads of llamas, so producing 0.2 per turn, we certainly don't need any more llamas, but we're going to build and then production. We've got the new butcher building. This uses up animals per tick, and it's only a very small amount. I think it's 0.3 for the first butcher. So 0.3 animals per tick will then be used here to make meat, leather, and potentially wool, or whatever else the animal produces. We could then build more llamas, but I don't think we need to. We've also got tons of meat. We're only running out of 0.6 per turn per tick, so we're not in any rush to get any more. Get a max there. And then get a max here. Okay, it's going to free up some space. We are using up so much space. And as you can see, that the pots that we're trying to get are just sitting there. So that can be a problem. Whereas if you don't have enough storage space and you're trying to maintain stock, the stock actually just deletes over time. That's a really important thing to realise. Okay, so with all our food types, we're actually fulfilling them. We're fulfilling beans, bananas, and meat. We're very close to running. Oh, actually, I say that. We have. Water is now the one we've run out of. So, we need to put a new well. Come to here. Look at groundwater. Put one here. So, how groundwater affects it. Before I said groundwater, you want to build on the best groundwater. But groundwater is more of a late game thing if the wells get better. And also if you put sieve points into wells. You see here, 22% of the natural sources of water are exploited. The groundwater just affects the total levels of water. So it will never actually make the person get more water. It just affects the total level of water. So if you increase the sieve points into water, or you upgrade the well building, it affects then the total level. Anyway, we've got this well. I'm going to put that to critical. And we'll let that get built. What I just realised is we've had, even though they've been on low, the weapon maker's active. They've been using up loads of wood, as you can see here. Now we're up to 3 wood per tick. And they've always been building so many fucking javelins that's what's taking up so much storage space. We don't need this many javelins. It's such a waste of storage space. If we were, again, on a multiplayer server, we could trade these with other players for goods or for money if we were a bit further into the game. Single player, though, you might want to delete some. In fact, that's what I'm going to do. Just because we're never, ever going to use up that many javelins. So we've destroyed about maybe 16 there. But that's getting us more wood, so now we won't need as many woodcutters, but we're still going to keep them. I'm going to start making wool. So you can see the wool uses stone. So instead of 5 wood, it uses 5 stone, and it gives a nice stone border, stone fence. So that's how you can tell the difference between them. And there we go. That's producing 1.2 wool. So I'm going to actually get the clothes makers down. 1 weaver. And 1 clothes maker. And then we're going to need to invest a sieve point into unlocking clothes. So what I also did before I forgot to mention this is I went to the building and I actually clicked the sleep button. The sleep button physically means nobody can work there. Even if there's loads unemployed, you can't work there. The problem with sleep is that it actually ups the maintenance by 1 coin per tick. So while we don't have money, that's irrelevant. It really doesn't mean anything. But once you actually start having to pay money, you don't want to just be putting buildings on sleep willy-nilly. Maybe if you really need to, definitely do it. But if you don't need to, just set the building to a low priority. So you can see here, they've come to make textiles. Sorry, they come to make clothes, but there isn't any textiles. So I'm going to put 1 on textile making, and it will produce 0.4 textiles for 0.8 wool. We make 1.2 wool, so we produce 1.8 wool. Sorry. So yeah, we can start making some clothes. I'm going to up this. There we go. I'm going to put these to high. So textiles to clothes is a 1-to-1 ratio. So we see here 0.8 textiles makes 0.8 clothes. But the clothes are just ticking up. And you can see demand is 0. And that is we need to come here to culture, customs, and add clothes in. So now the people will actually consume them. Spend a sieve point, and now the clothes will start having a demand, and they'll use up our clothes. So like I said before, why is there any benefit to producing clothes? They just give your people life quality bonuses, which improve the growth of the town and their intelligence.